Good afternoon again, Hockenheim. After another short break, here we are in the dynamic area, about ready to start the driverless autocross event. This event consists of one lap of the track drive course, the track drive course will take place tomorrow. Each team, much like in the skid pad, will get 2 runs, and their fastest time will count. Hitting a cone is a 2-second penalty, and an off-course is a 10-second penalty. And the driver must aim to go back on course as close to where he went off as possible. Although with the driverless car, I suppose it knows that. The first car lining up, of course, is car 426 from GreenTeam Stuttgart.
So let's check this microphone as well. It works as well. We're quite far away from the receiver, so we had to check that, but everything seems to work. So we are now surrounded by the team members from the GreenTeam Stuttgart. I don't know what that hashtag is about, but maybe one of us in the past pronounced it incorrect, could be. So they will be the first to go.
Maybe they just like 1980s rock and roll. Don't stop me now.
We could do this for ages.
So just a few clarifications for the driverless autocross. The car is positioned 6 meters from the starting line. And at the end of the run, the car must finish within 30 meters of crossing the finish line.
So eine Handfoto wäre, finde ich, auch cool so.
Could use with some elevator music. right now, Austin, don't we?
Yeah, something like that. Just a little bit of background noise to fill the gaps whilst we wait for the car to be prepared.
I can see if I can find one of the more popular songs.
Looks like the team may be aborting this mission. Certainly it's the driver going into the car. And yeah, we'll need to wait a little while longer before we see the first driverless Autocross this afternoon.
Ja, das war. Ist das?
Ja, ich glaube gerade, dass er nichts mitgebissen und dann kommt.
Nee, ich muss den Weißabgleich noch machen.
Also,
bei der 5.
Also, ja, dann behältst du. Nee, das war jetzt. Ja, leg's gerade hin.
Ja, weil der kommt, der gibt dir gleich was durch. Der sagt dir was durch vielleicht. Der spricht aber.
There's a new team coming in. Who are they, Austin?
I do not have my binoculars with me at the moment, so we'll need to wait until they get a little bit closer.
Oh, in the brake, the EBS brake area. I think that's DHBW Stuttgart, sideways.
Is this the car from Prague, or am I completely misremembering?
I think so too, but I'm not 100% sure.
It's car 467. The car needs a bit of WD-40 or something. It's squeaking as they push it along.
It does have a certain rhythm to it.
And yeah, it is in fact the car from CTU Prague.
Aktuell ist die 4 bemannt, die 6 ist bemannt, ich bemanne in 5 Minuten die 5 und die 3 ist noch umgerannt. Robin? Robin? Gehst du dann gerade nochmal hier hin? Weil ich glaube, die ist gerade wichtiger. Oder willst du wolltest noch erst auf Klo, oder?
And Prague has quickly gotten their car set up.
Dann mache ich mich kurz frisch und dann gehe ich an die 5. Klingt nach dem Plan, perfekt.
You can see the attractive system active light on. You can also see the solid yellow ASSI light on, indicating the car is ready to begin its mission.
Okay, the first driverless car to start. The Autocross mission started.
Navigated its way around the first turn, hugging the inside line. Oh, it clips a cone, but the cone stayed in its box. You can still hear it making the squeaking noise as it goes around.
I think it's the brake discs, Austin.
Oh, it's clipped another cone. It's clipped a few. It's cut that corner a little bit. It's knocked 2 cones over, but it's still going. It's gone off course, and the remote emergency switch has been activated.
They made it about halfway. Good job. Next up, I think that's the Zurich car now, Austin. We are taking out our binoculars. Well, Mickey is. I'm doing nothing. So I'm in my nominal mode at the moment.
It is quite a long walk for the teams to push the driverless cars to the start.
It's definitely not Zürich, it's the team from Augsburg. We looked at the car from full front and then it had some similarities, but from the side you can clearly see it's different.
Yeah, that's correct. And to be honest, they had quite a similar time in skid pad as well. Both very competitive. Three of the four team members from Augsburg have now joined us behind the tire barrier. It's just the last member of the team making the final preparations. Christian with a watchful eye. And the refractive system active light is turned red, indicating the car is ready to drive. And the ASSI light has turned bright yellow, indicating the car is ready to start its mission.
So far Augsburg has been doing a great job. Skid pad was good. I think third. They were just with 400ths of a second overtaken by EcurieAix Zürich, so probably third on skid pad. Wow, they fly. So. Looks good, Austin, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's gone quite quickly. Made it past the part where the first car had issues and coming around the final bend.
Oh.
A very stylish stop.
It stopped by itself, so.
Takes out two cones, but it stopped by itself. Couldn't have asked for a more stylish finish.
Now the real question is, Austin, I think a good driver would be able to be faster, but would we? I don't think so.
No, I think that was pretty impressive. That was very quick. Certainly wasn't leaving much margin for error.
It's a good run. So let's see if they elect to go right away or go back, wait a while and then retry again.
Yeah, the driving bit went quite well. I think the braking was a little bit sudden and may have oh, and there's been a failure behind us in the test track. Ingolstadt car 34 front left suspension is completely destroyed.
Coming.
Yeah, like no matter how many people look at that, it's broken. It's still broken. We could hear the ominous sound of carbon fiber scraping behind us. I think the damage is limited to just the suspension members as opposed to the monocoque itself, so hopefully it's repairable.
Well, it is quite hard to see because the wheel is in front of it.
Meanwhile, Augsburg have decided not to take their next run immediately and are pushing their way out of the dynamic area.
Yeah, I am curious to see whether we have faster cars than this, because this was already quite impressive. I mean, we have seen driverless cars before, but not a hell of a lot faster than this. I mean, maybe a little bit.
No, that was right up there with some of the quickest driverless autocross drives we've ever seen. So let's see what they can do and see what the other teams can do as well.
So the time they now have is a 19.28. Immediately, one of the team members of the Ingolstadt team was on the phone, probably briefing one of the people at home that what is going wrong, so maybe they can help out. Ingolstadt is not close by, but not that far either. A couple of hours drive. Hopefully they can fix it. Yeah, at the EBS brake test, we can see still the DHBW Stuttgart driverless car attempting to pass it, but I think each and every time their nose is pointing to the right. From our position, it looks like they're quite close to the wall as well, but maybe that is optics. But they have tried a couple of times now. I think they have been trying for half a day now.
Meanwhile, Christian is making his way back across the dynamic area with some trolleys to help remove the stricken car.
It's not a big skateboarder, I think. Otherwise, he would have just crossed the track.
so. There's no car on the track, so I mean. Also das eine Backpack hab ich hier, weil ihr gesagt habt, ich soll es mitnehmen.
We should have chosen a different song, Mickey.
Und das andere. Justus. Justus, geh querfeld ein.
Sir, hätten Sie Interesse an Schokolade? Schokolade? Sagtest du da eben Schokolade?
Ja, Sir, mit oder mit ohne Nüsse?
Schokolade!
Warte, ich drücke das Button aus. Hä? Kannst du ausschalten, ich weiß, wie es angeht. Jetzt nicht?
Austin, to be honest, I've never seen this many scrutineers on the grandstands. Have you?
No, I haven't. This is quite unprecedented. I mean, there's not even 8 grandstands and they've exceeded the record from last year or any previous year. Steph, do you know how quickly the eModrome sign on top of the BW tower rotates?
Let me guess, 20 seconds?
No, it's longer than that actually. It's 31.5 seconds for a complete rotation of the sign. I was hoping it was going to be a nice round 2 RPM, but it's just slightly slower than that. So big shout out to the people watching on the live stream now, sticking with us through this lull in activity. You can hear some cars in the background, but that's testing on the test track behind us has resumed now that they've moved the stricken car out of the way.
It's actually quite an eventful drive of the team from Lyon, France. They're practicing a bit for the Autocross, which is tomorrow. With a very nice sounding engine as well. Never knew a driver could have so much fun on a simple test track like this. They should give extra points for teams who come sooner, right? Don't you think, Austin?
Yeah, that would make our job a bit easier at least. It is, like I was saying, it is quite a long distance for the teams to walk to the starting line, which on one hand may disincentivize them if they're not 100% sure. But also, once they get here, you'd think they'd be more determined to make the car work, so they'd have to do the walk of shame all the way back to the entrance.
Ich lieg hier auf dem Boden. Macht ihr mal. Sag mal Bescheid, wenn dein Auto kommt. Bei mir fährt kein Mensch vorbei. Wo hast du mich gesehen, dass ich da bin? Von welcher Kamera?
Hey Steph, do you know any cones are on the driverless autocross course?
How many?
154 by my counting.
Let me check that. I lost count. I have to restart.
I mean, I think I was pretty close. I may have missed one or two, but there are some that are like, it's optical illusion. They sort of blend together from this far away.
But did you count each and every one separate, or did you count only the yellow ones and doubled it?
I counted the blue ones, doubled it, and added 4 for the orange ones.
But you notice that the outside corner sometimes has extra cones, like over there.
That's actually a really good point. I'll have to reassess my number. Yeah, maybe there's only about 140 or so.
Plus minus how many?
A few.
A couple.
Ich weiß genau, dass er mich will. Ich weiß es ganz genau. Das Bild will ich dann aber auch nicht so. Ich hab's noch nicht richtig ausgestellt.
So that was the royalty-free elevator music you asked about, Austin.
Thanks, Steph. Meanwhile, somebody in the live stream has asked if we could show footage of the test track. Unfortunately, where the cameras are, they have no visibility of the test track. And the test track we're talking about now is actually on the Formula One track, just on the very end of the north curve. And there's sort of multiple fences in the way between any of the cameras and the test track. So unfortunately, we can't put footage of that on whilst there are no cars in the driverless autocross. At the moment, there's no cars running on it anyways. There's a car that's stopped on course. But if anybody watching live or on the live stream has any questions they want to pose to us or things they want us to count at Hockenheim, we're more than welcome to give it a go.
I should start with all the seats on the North Curve then, because somebody will come up with that. Probably we can better Google that, Austin.
Meanwhile, there is some good action. There's a few white shirts wheeling some sort of gantry with a sign on it. Faced the wrong direction, so I can't tell you what it says. I think it just says Formula Student Germany 2021. And the scrutineers looks very pleased with himself in helping. Or are they going to attempt a lap of the autocross track with the sign? So, Steph, I've just had a look at the live stream, and it's just pointed at us. The live stream is just pointed at us now. It's there. I think it's there. Yeah, it's that one.
Are they going to put the large sign in front of the camera? Nope, we're not going to do a commentator dance-off. Nope. Maybe Mickey. He's quite a dancer, but...
Actually, Jonas doesn't know the commentator initiation.
Oh, that's right. We need to come up with something.
Yeah, the new commentators have to dance on the stage whilst waiting for the driverless autocross. Yeah, what a coincidence.
We always do that.
Cone incident. Thanks, Mickey. Good news, we can see the driverless car from Karlsruhe driving or being pushed towards the dynamic area. Potentially that means they'll be ready to make a run at some point in the near future. And somebody has also asked about the car and the brake test area, and I do believe it is car 477. Although from our viewpoint, there's a cone slightly obscuring the car number.
But I guess that might be Stuttgart, right? The DHBW team.
Yeah, I think they've been there pretty much all afternoon. Every time they do the brake test, the car sort of swerves to the right.
At moments like these, Austin and I actually miss the drag racing, which we usually have, going on at the southern end of the track.
Yeah, no, that does make a good sort of topic to talk about, especially Mr. Hayabusa.
On his Segway, right?
Yeah. But no, that's actually a good point. You'll notice that the autocross and endurance this year are just being run on the infield. Hockenheim is trying to schedule in basically 2 years worth of motorsport events into a summer. There's actually a parallel event going on Saturday, which is why the Formula Student track is limited to the infield. And I think it's the first time since 2011 it'll be run in this layout.
Well, we can see very colorful Porsches being driven on the far end over there, but they don't make a lot of sound. one of our co-commentators who's currently at home pointed us at a very good elevator music, which we could use. But there's text in there. Too bad.
Ja.
So the full Hockenheim GP circuit has a length of 4.574 kilometers. That's 2.842 miles, 17 turns, and the race lap record is held by none other than Kimi Räikkönen. And even though the most recent Formula One race was in 2019, he set the lap record in 2004. So it's 15, you know, lasted for 15 years and it's still standing.
Of course, we are here in the beautiful city of Hockenheim. It's a town in northwest Baden-Württemberg in Germany, very close to Mannheim and Walldorf, and it's located in the Upper Rhine Valley. And it's actually on a tourist theme route, the Baden Asparagus route. Did you know that, Austin?
No, that's, I guess there are some enthusiasts for asparagus. Did you say asparagus?
I said asparagus. And also the Bertha Benz Memorial route.
I'm not sure which one is more niche. So I think we've just discovered that talking about asparagus is what will prompt a team to bring their car out to make a run on the autocross track for Driverless. We've got Karlsruhe now here. They had the quickest time in skid pad earlier this afternoon. And they were also the winners at FS East just a few weeks ago.
Have you ever been there, Austin, in Karlsruhe?
I've never been to Karlsruhe, no, actually.
It's actually quite a nice city.
All I know is it's reasonably close to here.
Yeah, it's a great stopover location as well. So I've been there a couple of times, and you got a beautiful. All the city center is concentric with a nice park in the middle. A small castle. Can go shopping.
Do like a good castle every now and then, to be honest.
Good beer garden. It's a beautiful city, to be
Ticks
honest.
all the boxes then, I guess.
Nice forest.
Yep.
You can walk your dog.
Oh, cool. Nice Institute of Technology as well, I've heard.
Apparently, yes.
So the team making the final preparations. Here we go, we can hear some of the low voltage systems turn on. Certainly a fan running. The car is now activated. You can see by the yellow ASSI light. We'll wait for the remote emergency switch operator to coming to the platform with us. We'll move out the way.
Da sitzt ein Kleinwitzjäger drin.
There we go. All right, still got it. And now it's clean. So let me check out the time. I don't think it's quite as fast as Augsburg, but definitely really good lap.
And it's a successful run.
It's a 19.74. It's only half a second away from Augsburg.
And I think they took out 3 cones to Augsburg's 2. There might have been 4 cones actually. I was a bit worried after the first 30 meters or so. It was sort of weaving back and forth violently until it got to the first turn, and it seemed to sort itself out at that point and sort of have a really good rest of the run.
It might be because just after, or should there be a cone just after start finish? The second one. I think he took that one out, right?
Yeah, he took that one out. You can see it's parallel to the next cone, which could just about be in its corner box. I can't tell. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I was worried they weren't going to make it around the first corner based on how they started, but the remaining 7/8 of the lap went flawlessly for them, as did the finish, which is something that Augsburg didn't achieve on points, although you could argue they achieved it on style.
Well, I think there's not so much between them. I mean, Augsburg took out 2 or 3 cones as well with the spin at the stopping point. Karlsruhe took out also 2 or 3, maybe more cones in the beginning, but stopped clean. Times are about the same, so there's not much in between.
No, yeah, they were very evenly matched. And I mean, I think both of them can improve with their cone accuracy anyways. As a reminder, the teams aren't allowed to store any data from the first run to use on any subsequent runs. So the car does have to drive truly autonomously on each run. So it's not like the team will be able to record the data and program it to repeat or anything.
So they have to thoroughly replay the beginning of their lap and see what went wrong.
Exactly, yeah, I think they'll have to do some data analysis, but fortunately for them, there's still an hour and 55 minutes of this event left. David on the live stream has asked if there's 4 runs or 2 runs for autocross. For the driverless autocross, there are just 2 runs per car. For the drivered autocross tomorrow, there are 4 runs, 2 runs for each driver.
Ich habe eben...
Coming back to the track now is the GreenTeam Stuttgart. They were here before, right, Austin?
Yeah, they were here before. They pushed the car to the starting line but didn't make an attempt to start. So they wheeled it away, made some tweaks, and hopefully they'll get the car to navigate the course this time.
So ein Laserpointer wäre gut. Wir brauchen noch so eine Gegensprechanlage. Ich frage mich, warum die mal diese bescheuerten Strohhüter anhaben.
Team from Stuttgart still adjusting some settings on the car. I've just seen the dashboard fire up. A series of yellow lights flashed across and went back out. one of the team members adjusting something underneath the bottom of the car. Doesn't look like the most convenient place for something you'd adjust just before the car were to set off. But I suppose it's one of the drawbacks of having to adapt an existing car is that you can't necessarily always put things in the easiest spot to work with. The cars are so tightly packaged to begin with. It's amazing that they fit in everything they need to fit in anyways.
Yeah, of course, next year it needs to be integrated a bit more, right? So then driverless features will be built into the regular cars.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be a regular part of the regular event. Is some events will need to be completed in the driverless mode if the teams want to score full points.
And we see that already on 2 cars here. They are, well, actually one of them is now on a test track, car 842. So we can see the 800 series. That's how you recognize them.
I mean, I think this deserves a prize for the most inconveniently placed adjustable feature on a car. I mean, there's nobody else waiting to get onto the track as far as we can see, so not an issue taking as much time as they need.
Here we go.
Can hear an actuator like we heard during the skid pad event. See if the car arms itself.
Look at the amount of stickers from other teams that the car has in its rear wing and the inside.
Yeah, the whole thing is covered. Heard another puff from the actuator of some sort. Oh, the car, the yellow light has turned on.
Maybe we need to scooch to the side a bit. So here we go. Can hear the beep now. It's armed and ready. Let's see if it starts. There we go. Oh, it's braking. Oh, and yeah. Here we go.
Taking the first corner slightly wide, but it's not hit any cones.
So far, so good. Yeah, the path that it's taking is Oh, yeah, still good.
Really searching for the limits of the track.
Actually, the green line goes the normal track over there. You see, it crosses
Yeah.
so that's a challenge, I guess.
This is good so far.
So here we go. Does it manage to stop fully by itself or not? So far, so good. And here we have it. Past the orange cones. Now they have 30 meters to stop. Is it voice activated? So shall we just say stop?
Stop.
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 No. Yes. No. 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 It was a remote actuated stop, so hence the blinking blue light.
I mean, yeah, it was a steady run. It was clean all the way through the actual run. Didn't actually pick up a cone until the second lap when it should have stopped. So I mean, hopefully that's an easy. I mean, it's easy to say hopefully. It's an easy thing for them to adjust, but I have no idea.
Can you remember that one car a couple of years back who managed to complete all the laps but stopped just too early? I think it was the Delft car, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember which car it was, but I remember it got to the very end of track drive and it literally finished like a meter from the finish line. It stopped early. I was wondering if the same thing was going to happen here because it was going, at such a steady pace.
Well, all in all, a good attempt, I would say. Austin talking about the steady speed that the Stuttgart team had. For the Autocross event, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but for tomorrow at the track drive, there are certain limits, right? In order that you have to obtain a certain speed in order to qualify at all.
Yeah, that's correct. You have a certain amount of time to complete the first 3 laps. And then after that, you have a specified time to complete every subsequent lap. I think it's just over 60 seconds per lap.
Yeah, and that is, I guess, a Darmstadt rule, because a couple of years back we had the Darmstadt team driving, well, like this, I think, maybe a bit slower even. And that took a long time to complete a track drive, didn't it?
Yeah, I think we were sat here commentating on it for about 50 minutes or something crazy like that. It took forever.
I am quite sure that everybody who was there now knows all the details about the city of Darmstadt, the sightseeing in Darmstadt, all the historical things happening in Darmstadt.
Yeah, the weather that week in Darmstadt.
Famous residents of Darmstadt.
Yeah, pretty much everything. If we don't get another car on track soon, we may have to go through those details again, though.
Might be a good refresher. So, fortunately, we don't have to do that tomorrow with the city of Stuttgart. So probably they need to up the pace a little bit. Otherwise, after a certain amount of laps, they basically get the question to stop their run. Austin, do you see that Scuddy over here?
I do see that Scuddy over there.
Would you be able to comment and drive the Scuddy at the same time across the track or not?
To be honest, I've never ridden a Scuddy before, so it would probably be a recipe for disaster.
Is the throttle like with a scooter or motorcycle, just on the
I don't know. It's like, how do you make it go? How do you make it stop? Those are like two critical pieces of information that I'm not sure about, let alone broadcasting around the world whilst trying to hold onto a microphone at the same time.
And it doesn't meet the four-wheel criteria?
No, it doesn't. It's only got 3 wheels. It's got a nice basket though.
Maybe there's chocolate in the basket.
Maybe. I was hoping he was bringing us some more ice cream, but I think he was just coming over to relay a message.
He is not looking at the moment.
We could steal it. Although, at the moment, I think the live stream is pointed at us once again. And yeah, we've been standing all day, so we're taking a break. We're sitting down.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We just try to convince the official to try to break the lap time, but he likes to go back into the pits. Maybe readjust some settings first, Austin.
Yeah, he's got to turn on race mode.
It will be a lot of fun when he comes back with a proper car. And say, I'm back.
Probier's. Frage ist.
Ja, ja, klar. Da steckt es immer bei hier drauf, das ist ja komplett
You know what this moment would be good for, Austin?
What, Steph?
To have an open and prolonged debate about the top UK team.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I think there are several contenders. Sort of the competition in the UK this year really blew the discussion wide open.
Yeah, it was different, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. And I mean, just as we're starting this debate, it looks like there's a car coming our way. We can put this on pause until we have a next lull in the action.
So talking about asparagus and UK teams actually help to get teams sooner to the grid.
Yeah, I guess we just need to find some of the more less interesting topics and keep bringing them up to keep getting cars to come and join us.
Looks like the team from Prague, with the distinct brake disc sound.
I was going to say, it sounds like the team from Prague as well.
So last time they were here, they had a DNF. Or didn't they cross the starting line? People on the board can see it, but for us it's a bit difficult. Yeah, they were here before and they had the DNF. So let's see if they can manage to navigate through the cone path a bit better this time around. So here we have the routine again, albeit a bit less complicated than the Stuttgart routine. It's just, okay, it's on.
Achtung, es geht weiter.
So the team is allowed to start and the car is driving off. It's faster than the last time, definitely.
Oh, it's
Da ist das erste Hütchen mit.
it hit 2 cones, and I think it kept the first 2 cones it hit in the boxes, and then it's brought one with it now. Seems to have steadied its course. The cone doesn't seem to be blocking any sensors or anything.
All right, that's in the box, that's out the box, that's out the box, that's out the box. Now we got it back.
I think if this was Formula 1, that would be a track limits warning. Oh no, it's made it just past where they had the issue the first time around.
That's unfortunate. Good job from City of Prague. Well done.
I think it just went a little bit wide around that turn and couldn't quite discern where the track was once it picked up those 2 cones, those 2 blue cones.
I think the Karlsruhe car is coming back again. So they probably are up next. They had the fastest time of the day until another team from Augsburg came and nearly improved that, or improved it by little, I must say. About half a second. So probably they want their purple time back again on the board.
I think it's probably worth noting as well that this autocross track is actually just a shortened version of the normal autocross track, which we'll see tomorrow. Basically, there's 2 portions of the main autocross track connected with 2 shortcuts to make the shorter driverless autocross track.
I think this resembles what most teams consider to be luxurious
and
to have.
We're finally getting our hot lap in the Scuddy. Oh, it's an off track. I thought we were getting a full lap.
But if he comes back at the same point or before where he exited, it's no, he can continue without you, of course.
That's a good point. And it looks like he may be doing just that, except for now he's going the wrong way.
I don't know where the remote emergency switch is, but this is not going well.
He's not playing our game.
No.
Anyways, we can probably head back to our viewing gantry, so we don't hold Karlsruhe up.
Karlsruhe cars are always one of the very few cars that you don't need to take a second look in order to know which car it is, right?
Yeah, they've got a very distinct livery. Seems to always be quite similar.
Which helps us a lot. Can you remember the, I think it was the Prague car a couple of years back who had a livery which was blue on one side and red on the other side. Can you remember?
I do, yeah. We kept thinking it was two different cars depending on which way it was pointed. It certainly helps when the car has one livery and that livery stays constant throughout, you know, numbers of years.
Team members are cleaning the tires to get a little bit of extra grip.
They've just positioned the steering wheel for the, well, I'm not sure for who.
There was one year where we interviewed the car, right? Did you do that? I think you did.
I think I was actually the car. Yeah, nom 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 cones.
Das ist immer so eine panische Reaktion, sobald er anfängt zu lachen.
And as Karlsruhe make their final preparations, I can see another car in the background. I think it's Augsburg, based on the discussion we had about the last time Augsburg were in that position.
I again thought, oh, it's Zürich from this angle, but it probably is Augsburg, you're right. But from this angle, they don't differ that much.
No, very similar colors and shape. It's hard to tell.
So bets are up, Austin. What will be the time? Will it be below the 19 seconds?
I think they're going to beat their previous time.
But by how much?
Oh, I don't know. Let's say 18.52 to go to hundredths of a second. I'm being optimistic.
What I would do is turn it up to 11 by now, because they have a good banker lap in. Not too many cones, couple.
True.
And remember, the previous lap wasn't clean, so if they keep it clean, they're already doing it a lot better than last time.
And the car has already started much better than it did the first time around.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. Let's see if it stops. Very controlled, although, yes, there we are. In a 19 flat, so 19.08. That was really impressive, wasn't it, Austin?
Yeah, that was really good. As I said, the first lap they ran, they were all over the place before the first turn. This was straight on it, and no cones. A very impressive run.
So let's see what Augsburg have to say about that. In the previous shootout, Augsburg was a little bit faster and a little bit cleaner as well, but they stopped quite vigorously.
Yeah, I think that might be the key to Augsburg. Being able to set a quicker time is to avoid any penalty cones.
¿El campeonato? ¿Campeón?
También está lo Forza, ¿sabes?
Ya vienen, chavales.
So while Pisa is on the test track, we can see that the orange light is turned on. So all systems are switched on. High voltage system is on as well. Brake system is armed. Es geht los und viel Erfolg. There we go. This is looking good for them. Quite similar to last way around, isn't it, Austin? But last time stopping was the key. So this went well. This is one cone now. And now stop, not too vigorously. Yes, that's very good. Well done. And the fastest time of the day with a 18.25.
So as far as I can see, they were almost a second faster, but they did hit one cone. And the cone is 2 seconds, so they'll be just behind Karlsruhe once that's taken into account. But it was still very impressive, a much smoother finish than they had. Not quite as Magnum PI, but more effective for this competition.
Yeah.
Good news for the followers from the Hamburg team. They just passed the EBS test. So that's the, can we say combination car? We can, right, Austin? So that's a car that participates in multiple disciplines. So both in the electric and the driverless class.
Yeah, that sounds like a good way. The combination car is a good term, I think.
I think by doing this, they might be a bit better prepared for the rule changes next year. So I think it's quite a good choice.
Yeah, for both the teams that have decided to implement the driverless aspects into their electric cars this year, I think it'll give them a big advantage next year. Whilst all the other teams are figuring things out for the first time, they'll have some experience. And hopefully, I've done quite a bit of learning this year.
I think the Hamburg team was also one of the very first teams to have the driverless cars. I think the first year we had 4 or 5 cars, and they were definitely one of them. So they have been doing it for a while.
Oder FSG21. Du hast es gemacht?
So one of the questions of our live stream viewers was whether we can have one team here that sets banker lap with driver just for comparison purposes. I think we haven't done that before. Have we, Austin?
No, we haven't. It might be good for entertainment purposes whilst waiting between the driverless teams.
Yeah, if we look at these cars and the speeds, we could make some judgment on a 20-second lap. 2 seconds faster. The fastest electric teams. Maybe Mickey, you're good at assessing these kind of things. What do you think that the fastest electric teams do on this track? We know that what we just saw was 18, 19 seconds. How much can there be gained? Is it like 2 seconds or more than that, you estimate?
On this track, on the autocross track, with the driver, without the driver?
So if we have, for instance, a very good electric car here with a driver, how many seconds faster do you think it will be?
Yeah, it would be faster, I think. It wouldn't be fast, like 5 or 6 seconds, maybe 1.5, maybe 2. But only if the driver is really going at it, taking all the risks. But it was already quite fast, the Augsburg car and the kit car as well. So it was already impressive, but it's not faster, in my opinion at least, than a driver with a car.
Yeah, so in your experience, 2 seconds, that order of magnitude, that's what we're talking about. Maximum, I must add. So 1.5 to 2 seconds, that's probably what we're looking at. If we would put a driver in the very fastest electric cars out there, that should be roughly it. And I can't think of anybody who can assess these things better, so we'll have to do it with this, I think, unless we can get a team here for a banker lap. That would be great as well. We did that actually when the electric competition started. Then there was a comparison between two or three electric cars and a combustion car. And the electrics, over I think 4 or 5 laps, the electrics were a bit faster than already. Didn't help that the combustion car had really old tires. I know that for a fact because it used to be the car that we built in my year. So we had really old shitty tires, and Mickey was driving, which didn't help either. He can't hear us, so that's good.
So many excuses.
Yep. And I also think the electric car that the GreenTeam built that year, that was the first one, that had so ridiculous amount of power. But you were not there yet, right? Maybe Mickey, you can remember the first the showdown we had between the electrics and the combustions. A couple of years, more than 10 years ago. The Stuttgart car, can you remember that one? The very first electric one, the Beast?
Yeah, but it wasn't a showdown. I think it was a demonstration in the night by the very first Stuttgart car, and that was ridiculous. Yeah, but that was amazing. You could see the brake disc light up every time it braked, and on the main straight it would it just slip the wheels like for 50 meters at least. But that wasn't the time that there wasn't any limit on the power of the car. So. It's a bit strange to compare it to the cars this time around, and also there were no wings. But even without all those wings and aero packages, it was an incredibly fast car.
Soll ich so bleiben oder rausfahren?
Gut so ist.
So the exact length of this autocross track for driverless is 220 meters. As per the rules, there's a range of lengths the track is permitted to be between 200 and 500 meters. The track on the shorter side of the spectrum, but yeah, it's 220 meters long.
kommt ein Pfosten jetzt. Pfosten.
Now got car 499 from DHBW Aachen approaching the starting line. I'm presuming the name of the car is Rita, based on the slogan on the back of the car from Mambo number 5. A little bit of Rita is all I need.
Okay, there we go. Starter procedure for the Aachen car. Let's see how complex it is. There we go. EBS brake system armed. Turning the HV system on now. We're waiting for the beep. No beep yet.
I think he's waiting for Christian to get up here with us. And then he'll activate the mission.
So good luck. And there we go.
It didn't completely leave the track, but it took out the cones at the start line and looked like it was going to veer off course. So I think the remote emergency switch operator did the right thing and hit the kill switch. Still pointed in the right direction, still on track, but
yeah, it did look like it was going back to the track, I think. But it did come close to the timing equipment, so maybe.
Was vorne auf dem Auto steht, was vorne rausfährt. Kein Wunder, dass das wahrscheinlich. Ja.
So next up is the Trondheim car.
Here we've got Trondheim lining up, going to precisely position their car, which based on what we just saw might not be a bad idea.
So Trondheim up for their third dynamic event today. They had two DNFs at the acceleration. At one time it veered off to the left and the other time veered off to the right, or vice versa. Then at the skid pad they did quite well. They had a 6-second run, about a second above the fastest cars, which scored them some decent points. And now let's see how they do in the autocross. Okay, so the team member with the RES switch now up here with us. Good luck, and there we go. We can hear the ready to drive sound. Lights flashing orange. Now let's see if it will go. We saw at the skid pad event that the car was a bit reluctant at first, but now it goes. First corner very neat. That's a bit of a problem, right, Austin? Sometimes it looks very clean and then all of a sudden, snap, it loses it.
And it's gone slightly off course in the area where
Has
some
it
of the other
again?
cars have.
Wow.
It's still, it almost made it all the way around. I was a bit lost for words. The area up by the...
This was a classic case of commentary curse, I guess.
Yeah, the area up by the toilets, the cars are all seeming to have problems when they take the shortcut and connect back onto the actual circuit. Whether it's the angle of the turn or what, I don't know. But it sort of went off track, came back on track, went back off track, came back on track, and went back off track, and then sort of veered to the completely wrong set of cones. At which point the driver hit the remote emergency switch. Maybe about 50 meters from the finish line.
They have a second run left. We still have about an hour, 50 minutes-ish for the event. Next up might be Barcelona again, Austin. We remember them from earlier today, didn't we?
Yeah, they attempted their first ever skid pad. It didn't go to plan, but I mean, they went for it in the end. They sort of set their car to max to try and get 4.9 seconds. Veered off course, but yeah, I mean, it's the effort that counts.
They demanded that we all cheered if the car moved at all, and it moved quite well, actually.
It actually moved quite, it just turned a bit too early. Let's see how they get on with the autocross there. I know some of the teams have said that the skid pad is actually harder to get right than the autocross event.
And acceleration seems to be more difficult even than skid pad.
Yeah, I guess that might have to do with the high top speeds of the cars at the acceleration run in the control systems. And as I'm speaking, we can hear some song encouraging the car from Barcelona on.
I don't know if you guys on the camera catch this, but this is great.
Everybody give the guy pumping up the system a cheer.
Don't you know?
Pump it up. You want to pump it up.
Don't you know?
Are we at Formula Student or a football match? We know this car likes being rocked back and forth because it's like a baby. We were told by the team members earlier.
We haven't talked about the football match at all, Austin. I was planning on chatting with you about the final there, but
yeah,
maybe too painful still.
We'll avoid that topic for now.
Let's wait for an Italian team to come on track. So there we go. I'm quite curious to see if the protocol is still the same. If the car moves, then we're happy. Or are we expecting a bit more here, Austin?
I don't know. I'm feeling really optimistic about this one for some reason. I don't know if it's just the fact that everyone's so happy.
It's the cheering, probably.
I just got to get behind them.
Okay. EBS is armed. We have the high voltage system on. Looking a bit ominous to the car, like, okay, is everything okay? But there we go. The HV system turned off and the blue light is flashing again. That means that it's remotely shut off.
Well, the good news is they're approaching the car with the pump to pressurize the system as opposed to the push bar to push the car away. So hopefully they can reset everything and give it a second attempt. They've had a different member of the team do the pumping up this time. Maybe there was something wrong with the first guy. This one's got a higher cadence.
Could make a dance out of that.
Car now being rocked back and forth again. Like, how do you figure out your car needs to be rocked back and forth before you let it go autonomously? Is this like a massive trial and error thing or what?
I remember back in the days with the combustion cars, we did it because when it was stuck in gear, sometimes you needed to rock it a bit to get it out. But this is not, I don't think it has gears, so I don't know. Maybe they are secretly telling the direction in which it should go, you know?
Yeah, it's got a 50% chance of picking the right one, I guess. Forwards or backwards.
Okay, here we go again. Okay, here we go. We can hear the ready to drive sound. Oh, we're going. Yes, and we are turning as well. Wow. Ah, that's it. Too bad for them.
But the car moved, it turned. At like quite a good speed as well.
Let's see if they decide to take their second run right away or that they go back into the pits. They don't have that much time left. It's about 40 to 45 minutes right now.
Looks like they are wheeling the car away, but it looks like Green Team is coming back for another run.
Queen Team, you mean?
Queen Team, yeah.
Yes. Does that have something to do with our pronunciation of Green Team, or?
I don't know. I'll have to find out what the meaning is before the track drive tomorrow.
I remember one of the officials that used to say TU Quads, but maybe he also said Queen Team. Could be. Could very well be.
It's possible. I can see how those sounds are quite similar in pronunciation.
So the Regensburg car is now on test track, but they sounded like Chewbacca when stopping.
Do you want to commentate the rest of the event like Chewbacca, Steph?
Then Mickey can do it as Yoda.
He does look a bit like Yoda.
Judge him by his size, do you? Jonas can do the Darth Vader. I guess he has the perfect voice for that.
He was actually doing the Darth Vader as we walked through the tunnel yesterday morning. He's been practicing. Once again, accessing the severely inconvenient button at the bottom rear of the car.
Last time I dared not say it, but it might be the reset button because they're always located in quite an inconvenient location. That's not a bug, that's a feature. Actually, we just asked one of the team members, is the button to start up the autonomous computer, so they're turning it on.
accessing a panel at the front of the vehicle now.
So we could hear the pneumatics of the EBS system. Let's see if she will go this time, Austin. So far it looks more or less similar to the previous runs.
Yeah, I think so. They've got a reasonably long and intricate startup procedure from what we've seen.
There we go. I don't think we have seen the orange lights yet, so that's a good sign.
Here we go. Inching forward. So this is alright because it's not actually crossed the timing beacon to start the lap yet, so. Car is stopped. Car says no.
Fortunately, here we go. Unfortunately for them, today is not their day, I guess. Is it? They have issues.
Mean, looking at the positives, this I don't think will actually be a run. So if they can get to the bottom of it in the next half an hour, they should be able to attempt another run.
We were actually quite spot on with the Queen team, so it wasn't one of the Formula Student Germany officials that they mean, but there's one of their team members who can't pronounce the Green team, so he says always Queen team. But we were quite close on that one.
Yeah, I think we had the concept right, just the target of the joke wrong.
So no Freddie Mercury fans in the team this year?
No, I guess not. And the team's now looking at the front of the car.
Maybe they'll try again. I see one other car now approaching the track as well.
Wondering what they could be adjusting at the front of the car. It's almost like if they were a driver, you'd think they'd be adjusting the pedal box or something, but obviously not the case here.
Maybe they got one of the sensors in the front.
It's possible.
Could be a reason that it's driving that slow, is that it's not obtaining all the sensory information where it should go. Or the EBS is dragging a bit. Thank you, Jonas. That can also be the case.
Or maybe that's where their speed dial is located when they want to turn it up to 11. And they've turned it down to 1, and that wasn't quite fast enough.
That's indeed the most convenient location for such a button. Or
I
knob.
mean, based on the location of their other buttons, you can't discount anything, can you?
You are making an excellent argument here, Austin. Well, I think they're going to try again, which they are allowed to. But not too long, because I think it's 3 cars now in queue. We have a queue.
Wow. It's getting a little bit darker out here. You can see the headlight from the Scuddy on the ground as it drives across. We weren't able to see that the last time he was here.
And the 4th car now approaching as well. I think up front is Lisbon. I think that is Zurich at 2nd spot.
Maybe.
Probably Hamburg is in there as well, who just passed the EBS test. And who are missing then? Maybe Rome? I don't know. But maybe it's better for your mindset not to talk too much about Rome. Because they brought it Rome, Austin.
They did bring it Rome, didn't they?
Okay, so it's Lisboa, Zurich, Barcelona and Trondheim in the queue.
Oh, we're not very good at queuing, are they? It's turned into more of a line.
This is not how queuing works now.
No, one after another.
Maybe they'll make, as soon as Stuttgart has completed their lap, they make all the sprint for it.
Or
the first one
maybe
here.
like the cars themselves need to watch to gain some inspiration.
Here we go again. They've had quite some attempts now. I think at their first run, Austin, they managed to complete a short section, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they had a DNF, so they started their run.
Didn't they? They got all the way around, but didn't stop, right? That was Stuttgart, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it was 109 seconds.
Correct. Yeah.
So we know the car can navigate the course, and we also know the car can stop. Now it's just putting the two features together.
We also know the car can drive a bit faster than in the attempt we saw just now.
Looks like they're being waved off with the queue that's been generated and the fact there's only 29 minutes left in the event. I mean, you never know, maybe they'll be able to get to the back of the queue again and have another go.
We were asked to say something by the driverless team from the green team. It was something in the line of, is this euer Ernst, green team? Or queen team, I don't know. Probably an inside joke between the driverless and the electric team. So I think this is Lisbon first. There are two cars now there that have made an attempt, Trondheim and Barcelona. Zurich and Lisbon we haven't seen yet, so probably they will be given some preference. Although there is no formal first driver and second driver queue, but it makes sense to have the cars that didn't have the ability or opportunity yet to drive have a shot.
There's a car in the emergency brake test area that looks like it was perilously close to passing the emergency braking test. I'm not sure what the result was. Meanwhile, here Lisbon is to take the green flag for the Autocross event in driverless. There were actually another team to attempt skid pad for the first time. They actually finished both laps, but ended up stopping slightly outside of the designated area, so we're given a DNF. But in the commentators' hearts, they finished.
They are in our hearts and minds. Let's put it like that.
Yes. Let's see how they can do on autocross now.
In the skid pad lap, they took out 22 cones.
They actually carried 15 of them with them the whole way.
Exactly, so that must be a record for carrying the most cones in the skid pad event. I'm quite eager to see what they are doing here on the track drive.
It's also like quite a good ratio as well.
They carried a lot more than they didn't.
Yeah, it's got to be around 70%. 70% cone carrying ratio. Arguably the highest cone carrying ratio in Formula Student history.
Well, in Austria a couple of years back we had, it was the Georg-Simon Omschule from Nuremberg, I think it was. And they were given the Conan the Barbarian award because they did a similar thing. They had also, I don't know how many, do you remember, Mickey? I think 10 or 8 or 10, that order of magnitude, so significantly less than Lisbon took. But they took them over all of the endurance race, so it was a lot of cone kilometers. Indeed, Mickey, thank you.
And that sounds good for the index of cone efficiency.
But what amazed me about the Lisbon car is that they took out 2 cones, but they were in the middle of the way. But the car still knew where it should go, so that was quite impressive. Because we were worried there for a second. That's like, okay, does this work? But it worked out fine.
Yeah, it did all right.
To be honest, if you see how little of these cars are able to pass all the tests and able to drive, the team is doing an excellent job. There are so many driverless cars which struggle to work at all. That's I think being here and then having a car, passing all the tests, and also competing in an event. Hopefully now, let's see what will happen. But hopefully they'll drive the autocross. That's amazing anyway.
Yeah, let's see. I can see the solid yellow light on, ready to start the mission. And the mission has been activated. Oh, cars immediately switched to the flashing blue light.
So since there is now a queue, the team from Lisbon has been asked to go away. They can go back to the queue. They probably will have enough time for a second run. It makes sense because other teams are waiting and everybody should get a shot. So there's the disadvantage of showing up that late. If they would have been half an hour earlier, they would have be given a lot more time.
Yeah, I think that's why Queen Team was given so much time. There was no queue at the time, and once the queue appeared, all of the leeway was stopped, and they were asked to go to the queue themselves. Now, I think this is actually AMZ Racing.
We had an excellent time on the skid pad. I think there was the second fastest time.
Yeah, by 0.04 of a second.
It was a 5:34 or 5:30, and the third place was a 5:34.
Something like that. I can't remember the exact.
I think that was it.
Exact numbers.
So they put in a great lap.
But they waited till the very end for that as well. So we'll see see if this strategy has paid off for.
Sie waren schnell. Martin hat viel Gas gegeben.
from what I remember, they had a pretty straightforward startup procedure, so hopefully it should go quite quickly. See, the DRS flap has been opened and closed. I think this must be part of the car's startup procedure because it seems to do it every single time.
Yodeling is Swiss, right, Austin?
Yeah, I think yodeling is Swiss, from what I remember.
You practiced?
No, I thought Mickey is the Yodi yodeler. Like, in my head, I can perfectly picture someone yodeling, but I have no idea how to translate that into me making any discernible noises.
Maybe if this takes a bit more time, I can find some yodel music, which I happen to have found. First check how bad it is.
I think that threat may have helped Steph.
Luckily for all of us, we don't have to put it on the speaker. Nobody would have liked this, except for me maybe. But okay, here we go. The high voltage system is on, the red light is blinking. Autonomous system is on as well, with the orange lights. Now we wait until it goes blinking and then we can go. Here we go.
Nee, hier passiert ja nicht viel.
Car not moving yet. Yellow light still flashing. And the team has terminated the run. It looks like we'll get the next car in the queue to have an attempt.
That will be Trondheim by the looks of it. I think what we hear in the back is that might be the Erlangen team who were at the noise test earlier. and I haven't seen them. Did you see the Erlangen car at acceleration in the afternoon? Can you remember? Because we were here at Skidpad. No, they were in the engine bay area, the noise test for quite a while in the afternoon. Might be them.
And yeah, it does sound pretty distinctly like an Erlangen car.
Ich habe gesagt, ich habe jetzt schon 3 Tage den Akku, da meinen die Schrauben auch schon ganz und Österreich.
The team from Trondheim aligning the car very carefully, rocking it back and forth, much like the team from Barcelona.
Das ist halt ewiger
And the mission is ready to be activated by the solid yellow light. I think the team member and Christian will come join us on the gantry.
Auto mal weggeschoben haben, stellen sich immer wieder.
Just waiting for the thumbs up from Christian, who's passed that message on. You can hear the alert, and the light is now flashing.
We have seen a bit of hesitation on this car before.
At this point in time, the car is just about keeping up with Zurich's pace. Can't even see the steering wheel moving like we did the last time.
Does it?
I don't think it is, no.
No. At Skidpad we could see the steering wheel move a bit, but now it doesn't.
Still no movement or anything. The team are still confident the car is going to start soon.
Nicht mehr losfahren, bestimmt nicht. Das heißt, ich frage gleich jetzt das nächste Hühnchen.
about 10 seconds left before they reach a timeout from the officials.
That's unfortunate. They were instructed to stop it. I think 1.5 to 2 minutes they got, so didn't go. They are to move into the back of the queue again, and hopefully they are able to put in a run before 7:30, but that will be very tight, I think. We see now that it takes approximately 5 minutes per car per run, order of magnitude, so that means that we can get 2, maybe 3 cars to our judgment. And the car that we have been seeing in the brake test all day, the 477 car, I think it is, but Jonas is double checking from the DHBW Stuttgart. They are now in the queue as well. A bit late, but I'm so happy that they made it through the EBS test, because they have been stuck there, I think, for the better part of the day. So it's good that they finally fixed whatever issue they had and were able to complete it. We thought we saw that. You commented on that, Austin, earlier, right?
Yeah, it came to a reasonably controlled stop. I suspected they'd passed, but I didn't want to confirm it. But it looks like they have, so I'm really pleased that they've made it here at least, and hopefully they'll get a chance to run.
Lisbon now, the first in the queue that are coming towards the starting line. Just now they had a stall, I would say, but it didn't go. The car itself turned itself off. So let's see what they can do.
Das ist jetzt auch schon was vom Auxiliar.
They have arguably the fastest boot time of any car out here, so that helps a lot for the remaining cars in the queue.
Here we go.
We're ready to drive sound, and it's off again. Apparently it's the Dala logger or so.
So yeah, Portuguese bad words are the same as English bad words, I've just learned. We need to start timing the teams push the cars to the start line and award points for that. So after like spending a large portion of this event with us counting cones, now got 7 cars all trying to have a go. As Steph was saying, it's really going to be tight to see how many actually get an attempt. Hopefully all of the teams can keep their boot procedures to a minimum and be as quick as the team from Lisbon.
Well, let's see if the car from Zurich can maintain reasonable amount of time for their boot procedure.
You may need to bring out the yodeling if we need this to happen quickly.
I still have that.
Die Elektrik-Dinge hören sich immer an wie so ein Spielzeug, wenn gestaltet ist.
I hope people didn't get that.
The team just about to activate the car. Let's see how it goes this time. Christian and the remote emergency switch operator is still not up to the gantry, so we'll give them a few seconds to join us.
There we go. Tractive system on. Orange light on. This wouldn't be the first time that... there we go. Maybe they find it.
It's a very enthusiastic start, but unfortunately another car that has fallen at the first turn.
And this is a team that we have been looking at all day. And I'm very happy that they're here. They just passed all the scrutineering events, spent a long time, considerable part of the day in the EBS test area, which we could see. They have been able to watch all the other driverless cars attempt skid pad whilst they were still stuck in EBS, but now they're here. If they're able to complete the lap, they will be quite happy, I guess.
I think so. I think that would be an understatement. Notice they've set the car up very close to the right-hand side, the inside of the track. I wonder if that's part of the acclimatation process for the car to the track. Can't imagine they've done it inadvertently.
very fast startup procedure so far. Well, this is what we like, Austin, don't we? Just park the car, turn it on. Orange is on, brake light is on. Tractive system is on. So far so good.
All systems go.
This is even faster than Lisbon, I guess. Okay, here we go. Car is now in its mission. It's blinking orange. So they have about 2 minutes. Just heard. Too bad for them. They had more time, but they said, okay, let's spare some time for the other teams, which is great. The car didn't see the cones. That what they said to each other. So yeah, if you don't recognize the cones, you don't know where to go. It's as simple as that. And that's what happened here.
So we've just had a word with Christian, the official running this event. I think he's going to be a little bit lenient with the timekeeping here. So hopefully there'll be a few more attempts that we get to see.
Another team we haven't seen before. This is the Hamburg car. We just saw them pass EBS test as well. I think closely after the DHBW car. You can see by the number it's 878 that this car participates in multiple competitions. So they participate both in the electric competition as well as in the driverless competition. For the driverless competition, since they only passed the emergency brake recently, they haven't driven today yet, but Mickey, on acceleration you have seen them with the driver in, right?
Yes, definitely. So I'm not sure what the time was. It wasn't top 10, but they actually put in a very decent time, I can remember. So yeah, that's already well done. But they did manage to pass EBS. They were allowed to do the acceleration without the EBS with the driver, which is obviously logical. So it's good to see them here as well.
Yeah, let's see if they can surprise us by coming straight out of scrutineering, putting in a lap.
Yeah, always like a last-minute drama. I mean, I'm sure that Karlsruhe and some of the other teams would disagree, but I think for entertainment value, we'd all love to see a quick run right at the end here.
So one of the team, it looks like that they have an inbuilt compressor. Some of the teams have external air to charge the actuators for the remote brake. I think this team just heard a compressor sound. They charge it from within the car. Add some extra weight, but saves a lot of hassle as well.
Yeah, I can see the Looks like he's resetting the car now. All of the lights you wanted to be on were on.
So here we go. Apparently all systems are go now, so they will come up in the gantry. Press the button and let's see what happens. They are significantly closer to the starting line than most of the other cars as well. Oh wow, here we go. It is veering off to the right just a little bit and he elects to kill it. So good job from them. Unfortunately not fully able to see all the yellow cones. And guys, don't forget to trip
Don't walk through the timing beacon. Stop. No, stop.
So we were reminding the teams not to trip the beacons. Worked out barely, just in time they stopped. I actually don't fully understand why it's such a huge issue, but I mean I can imagine that it's not so handy because the time starts ticking, but
it's like one of those things your mother tells you when you're little and you just don't ever do it and you don't ask why you don't do it.
Don't leave the door open.
Yeah, don't walk through the timing beam.
Ja, wobei die ist ja oben auf dem Stativ drauf, da kannst du wie bei so einem Boxenstativ
Maybe
aufdrehen.
we will have serious you know, Einstein-like time problems on our hands if we do that, that all time collapses.
That would not be very good, yeah. The timekeepers lose the time. They drop the time.
All Switzerland will be out of a job then. All the time is gone suddenly. No more watchmaking.
I see what you did there. I was just trying to think of a watch joke.
Watch it, Austin.
Now's not the time for this stuff. I feel like this truly is going to be the final attempt for Lisbon now, and I'd say probably the same for all of the teams. We're well into stoppage time here. See if we can get a last-minute winner. Oh, and the car is armed itself. The HV system is on. The yellow ASSI light is now a solid color, indicating the car is ready for its mission.
Team members looking quite anxious. Really hoping for it to work.
No, exactly the same issue they've had.
That's unfortunate.
Looks like the car automatically switches into the emergency shut-off mode. You can see See the team member from Barcelona, I think, vigorously pumping, pressurizing their system. Here we go. Rocking the car back and forth. The HV system is active. Everyone seems happy at the moment. Oh, this is full send mode. We've just been informed. So expect something spectacular.
Whoa, that was a bit messy.
Oh, that was spectacular indeed. To be fair, the car did exactly the same thing it did when they promised us the full send mode in the skid pad. Did the exact same thing.
Exactly, yeah, you're right. And also they managed just to miss the timing equipment.
We've now got Aachen for what is presumably their final attempt. Meanwhile, there's more vigorous pumping in the queue.
Hier oben hängt übrigens noch ein Wellpack drin im Zelt.
er hat das Beste gemacht. Ja. Der Nick, der hat das einfach verkackt. Wir waren so kurz davor, Stralsund in die tiefste Bredouille ihres Lebens zu geleiten.
Here we go for Aachen, car 499. Flashing yellow light, and it moves forward through the starting line. Around the first corner. A reasonably good pace, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gone horribly wrong. Turned right instead of left. But still a good effort for them to get about halfway around the track. So it looks like we'll have 2 cars left to make an attempt.
It wouldn't be the first time that Zurich at the far end of all day sets a blistering time all of a sudden, right, Austin?
Yeah, it's happened before, and I mean, if there's any of the teams that are capable of doing it, they're certainly among them. I mean, in skid pad as well, Trondheim ended up setting a pretty quick time right at the very end as well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. So let's see if the Trondheim car is again hesitant to go. Let's put it like that. Let's put it mildly, or whether they can swiftly proceed to enter the track, because we know as soon as they're on the track, you know, then they find the cones and they manage to navigate. But it's getting this particular car started that usually is the issue.
Yeah, exactly. Took over 2 minutes and still wasn't ready the last time. So let's see what's changed, or if they've fixed that issue. See the driver selecting a setting on the dashboard, activating the HV.
Arming the ESB, and the yellow-orange light is on. Ready to go. Ready to drive sound. Yes, there we go.
Let's move forward.
This was the issue before, just getting the car to get going. Good, let's see how we manages to the tricky part, because that starts about now. This is the second part where it gets a bit tricky. Well, we can start thinking about completing the mission now. So it should stop by itself within 30 meters. And it has. Well done.
Wow.
We just said nothing and let the reaction of the team members speak for itself. So
wow, that was a good run. Not even sure what the time was. I'd say around 30 seconds, but I can't see the screen from here.
this is exactly the reason why we kept it open, just to have a good time in.
And that puts them solidly in third place. It was a 38:56 was the time.
I think by now completing is more important than the time. And it was clean as well, so.
Let's see if ETH Zurich can displace them from the podium on this event. Here we go. The final car to attempt the driverless autocross, FSG 2021. Members of the team making their way behind the barrier. You can hear some sort of fan on the car at the moment.
We know they can be fast. They have won this competition a couple of times, I guess. So if any team can now, out of nowhere, put in a great lap, it must be Zurich.
See, the HV system is active.
So we're ready to go, ready to drive sound. And there we go. We're going right as planned. This is going to be quite fast. If they know, maybe they can find it again. No. Oh, that's unfortunate. It was a good try though. So that's it for the driverless autocross of today. We will see you tomorrow with the endurance or the track drive for the driverless cars, as well as the autocross for the driven cars, so the combustion and electric classes. We've had quite a long day, and tonight Mickey and Austin will be in the live show as well, I heard, so tune into that. And a last gentle reminder to all the teams to fill in the commentary form, which we will update tomorrow again, tomorrow morning. So do that somewhere tomorrow morning, that we have all your car information with us during autocross. Thank you.
Das Green kommt dann überall, oder? Okay. Die Green.
die LED-Wand bei mir.
I don't know how.
Drei Sekunden. Fertig.
Ja, würde ich auch nehmen.
But doesn't he say, oh, I didn't do this, I've not done this solution, or I don't know why I did this solution, I don't know. So if you still describe the solution,